Welcome to Coach's Corner, everybody. Thanks for watching the show. I'm your host, Coach Tripp, along with my buddy, Coach Mark Hobley.
Peace.
Hobbs, we have a special guest, Coach Jade Brown, the women's head basketball coach at Booker T, Washington. Coach, I can't believe we're just talking 14 years at Booker T.
It's crazy.
Wow. It's crazy.
14 as the head coach, but I've been here for 16 years, though.
16 years, 2 years as assistant. Talk about those years real quick. I know he had some up and down years, more up than down. And then 2022, 23 was a tough year, 13 and 12. But you've gone 23-2, 21-6, and now 22-3 the last 3 years.
Yeah, you gotta.
The culture is set.
Yeah, you gotta go through some things in order to grow. Mm-hmm. I mean, when you're a high school coach, especially I'll say probably of a major sport, in a public school in a small city, it's going to be hard to. I won't say hard. It's going to be challenging to continue to dominate at a high level every single season. The cycles change. As my mom says, everybody gets their turn at the mill. You know, we could talk about when I first came in to where there was no such thing as transferring for real, right? To where now transferring, school choice is totally different. All of these things, I think, play an entity in the wins and losses that take place. But I mean, in my 14 years, we've only had 2 losing seasons. So I test that to the young ladies that I coach. And wins and losses, I think you guys know me well enough to know they don't define who I am and what I do. That doesn't matter to me at all, especially at this level. I'm trying to shape young ladies to be influential individuals in society. And if we can do that with a couple wins along the way, then we've done our part.
Wow. Three losses by only 4 total points. 17-game win streak. How do you keep in the girls humble and hungry at the same time?
I think just taking that one game and approach mentality, understanding that, you know, even though we've had, I would say, maybe some scores, and I'm sure you guys are looking at some things where it's been maybe really lopsided, but there are some of those games where we still haven't met some of our goals. So when you want to be a great team, you have to be process driven, not result driven. And that's something we've kind of really honed in on this year. Is like, don't play to the standard, not the scoreboard. Play to what we know how to do to our level, play to our standard, not to level our competition. So though we may be on a 17-game win streak, that doesn't mean anything. We've had some up and down moments within those games, you know, playing 4 quarters of basketball. Now, I just still believe that, you know, with 2 games possibly left in our season, God willing, we still haven't played our best basketball yet, and I think that's a good thing for this group.
Hobbs has a question for you, Coach.
Coach, you were just talking about the standard. Is that something that, like, Ronnie Bond and playing at Washington, me graduating from Washington, I understand what you're talking about playing to a standard there. And, you know, girls basketball didn't become a sport till like 1976. And we have as many wins as just about anybody else around here. And I want to thank you for that, for holding that standard there. But I tell you what, this coming up week here, I really expect our girls to step up against Gateway here and you know, get back to that standard. And you're just the person to take us to that.
Yes, sir.
We appreciate Coach, upon to read your game, 51-40 victory, but it was tied at halftime. You guys came out 13-0 at halftime. Did you give them the business, or did you use reverse psychology at halftime, or did you just make X's and O adjustments, or what turned the girls on to close, actually to put a nail in the coffin the rest of the game?
You know, it's gonna probably shock you and a lot of people that may hear this. That might have been one of the calmest halftimes I've ever had. Honestly, you know, and I know everybody, you know, those that are watching the games may say different things. And as a coach, we know our team, we know what we're capable of. And as I'm watching the game and I'm watching us, they did everything that we knew they were going to do. We knew we were going to see a 2-3 zone. We knew we had to knock down shots. I didn't think that we were playing a bad first half. I think we settled a little bit on some jump shots where we could have took advantage of getting the ball inside. But I know our girls, and I knew that everybody in that locker room wanted to win. I knew everybody wanted to win. I felt like we were pressing a little bit. I feel like we were trying a little bit too hard. So I just told them, I said, guys, you're fine. We know how to play. We know what to do. I think honestly, you probably can ask the staff and the girls if you ever get to talk to them. That might have been the comments I've been all year, because I went in, I talked we talked before we go in, like it's nothing that they're doing. We got to clean up some things on our end, to do better and get what we want. But I also think, and you guys are both coaches, when you have a player-led team, it makes things a lot easier. But you also have to be willing to allow the athlete to have a voice. So something we talked about in the halftime, as you say, X's and O's, wasn't a lot of different things we did, but we did talk about a few adjustments. And I asked Shamaya and Jada Clarity a question about, just some personnel and places they wanted to be. And I think giving both of them that opportunity to have that moment in the locker room to say, hey, Coach Brown, I prefer being right here. And then Jada's like, well, I prefer being here. So I think that was a defining moment during halftime, allowing them to have a voice and getting to understand, hey, we trust y'all. We know what you're capable of doing. And you tell me what's working for you. You're out here playing. I may have a play, but it may not be working. And it may just need a little tweaking because of what you can do. So I think that was a turning point for us, coming out there in that second half, because I just felt like we were just pressing a little bit too much. I didn't think we were playing bad, but I knew every girl in that locker room wanted to win, and there was no doubt.
Great observation, Coach. Outstanding observation. To use that kind of tone of voice in that tight, pressure packed, you felt, they were just missing shots, a couple turnovers in the first half, but they weren't playing. They weren't, it's not like you weren't getting effort out of them. And then to be calm in that situation is a great coaching move. I remember Coach Bryant doing that. Our Alabama team was down at halftime, and he came in and said, we got them right where we want them. We're going to find out what we're made of in the second half. He didn't yell and scream, and use that reverse psychology, because the kids, he felt like you did, that the players were playing hard. We just got to make a couple of adjustments. That's just a great coaching move, in that situation. The culture you've had there, your team. Let's talk a little bit about your team. Shamaya Francis, a senior, 4 seniors, some talented underclassmen like Jada Clarity, sophomore Kaylin Thomas, and junior Nylan Brooks. It seems like you got a good combination of experience and youth too.
Yeah, I think they complement each other very well. We can't forget, our smallest person on the floor, Amari Hall, who the last 2 weeks we've put her on the best offensive player on the floor. And we played Ponte Vedra, the young lady we played, number 3, I want to say averaged close to 19 or 20 points a game. And I believe we held her to 3 points. So I think, I know she didn't have a 10-point game. It might have been, I don't think it was over 7, so don't quote me, but she did not have double figures. So to me, that just goes to show, how locked in we were to our details of who we're guarding and what we're doing. But I think we have a group of girls. For one, a lot of them have been around each other for a very long time, but I genuinely think and I believe they truly care about each other. And a word that we use this year is connected. And that's one thing Shamaya had said, at one of our timeouts, hey, y'all stay connected and just having that love for each other. A lot of times you like your job, but you don't love your job. There's a big difference. You know what I mean? When you love your job, you feel like you don't work. And I think we have a group of young ladies that truly love each other and care for each other. And something Coach Jordan, one of my assistant coaches, always says, it's a sisterhood here. And so I think the reason they're able to complement each other so well, and we have a mix of everything, because they care about each other. They don't care if Jada has 25 or Kaylin has 18 or Nyla has a double. It doesn't matter to them. Our thing is, let's play to the standard, not the scoreboard.
I'm glad you said that. Talk a little bit about your assistants, Coach Jordan and Coach Jones and Kirsten Smith. Talk a little bit about what they do for you, because they spend a lot of time with the girls. Have you broken up their duties with offense, defense, or big girls and forwards and guards? How is their duties?
we do that all the time. We do that all the time. I think one of the best things about our program is that we have what I call true basketball knowledge on our staff. Coach Smith, Kirsten, we call her Mookie. all three of them are Wildcat alumni, by the way. I'm the only one that's not. I'm a Woodham Titan.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
Coach Mookie played Division I basketball at Troy. Played on the last team that Ronnie Bond coached. Janelle Jones played at University of South Alabama. Played for me. Coach Jordan, he played here at Booker T. His mom was a longtime teacher here at Booker T. So Janelle's mom played on the 99 runner-up team. Coach Steve Williams is Janelle's grandfather. So when we say that, you know, the blue and white blood is real on our staff, it is real. And we have a group of coaches, I think that, and with the exception of myself and Janelle, Coach Jordan and Coach Mookie both have kids, you know, significant others. And so to take time away from their families to pour into our young ladies, I think just speaks volumes of who they are. Janelle, this is her first year back with me, has been phenomenal. You know, I'm getting a little bit older, so it's good to have someone on your staff. I think, in my opinion, they can relate a little bit more to the girls. My gap is getting a little bit wider each year, and she brings in a wealth of knowledge. Janelle probably is one of the best players I've ever coached. So her basketball, she knows what we want, how we want to do it, and she's able to pour back into the girls. Coach Mookie is our statistician, but when she's around, she's here, she locks in, you know, she holds the girls accountable. And Coach Jordan, you know, he does things that a lot of people are unaware of behind the scenes, especially when it comes to like our Wildcats and old alumni, different things that we have going on in our program. But each coach brings something very unique, and we're all what I would call basketball junkies. I can't tell you how much film we have watched between us since Friday night. You know, myself and Coach Jordan, I don't think we left the gym until 9 o'clock Friday. We were instantly trying to get film and do different things. So we just got some students at the game, and they're family to me. We're not. Coach Jordan started his first year with me. Coach Mookie, we grew up together. Like I said, Janelle, I coached her for 4 years. And I'm just really glad that I have a group of individuals who also do this, Paul. And I think this is important for people to understand when you have a good staff around you. You hear me say staff because they don't work for me. We work together. When they hold me accountable, because I'm not always right. You know, when they're saying, well, Jay, I don't know if we need to do that. Like you might not. And we don't always agree. But there are times where there are things that need to be said to me that they know, like, hey, okay, let's try something else. And, you know, I'm always giving them opportunities to take the clipboard and, all right, what do you think of this? What do you think of that? How do we run this? So I just think God has surrounded me with some great individuals who I love dearly, and they mean a lot to me.
Coach, that's another sign of a great characteristic of a coach. Not be so ego-driven to take suggestions from your assistant coach, to respect them, you know, and because they do a lot of the coaching. You only grow as far as your assistant coaches can grow. And to be able to do that and have that kind of collaboration, that kind of humble spirit to take their suggestions. You don't want a yes man as an assistant coach or yes lady. That is obvious. I think you and I have talked about that before. Coach Bryant was like that. What are you guys cleaning up in practice this last week or this coming week before you go to next Thursday, right?
It's
next Wednesday.
Next Wednesday. If you win that one, then it'll be Friday.
Okay.
Yeah.
The 11th
honestly, we're kind of focusing on us right now. There's some things, like you said, what are we cleaning up on? You know, the team we're playing is very good, very guard oriented, very good team. This time of year, everybody's really good. So kind of working on us, but starting to sprinkle in some things that we know, like, hey, we're going to see this or that. We'll kind of start really focusing on them. We'll start today with some film session, and then we'll really get into them tomorrow and Friday. But just the little details, you know, we missed a ton of free throws, layups, you know, locked in, focused on doing those things. And make sure, one thing I tell them in practice, you know, visualize what we're going to do. This isn't just shooting right now. Visualize, this is the game. So we're cleaning everything up. The last few days have been, you know, a lot of what I call fundamental type of practices, going back to some of our things that we started the year off with, which is kind of how we've approached the last 3 weeks. Monday and Tuesday are kind of our more challenging practices where we really, really hone in on us. Like, what do we got to do? How can we improve in what areas? But a big help for us is that we also have what's been super beneficial is I get some of our freshman boys, since their season is over. We got them in there, some of our JV guys going against us every day. pushing us to more physicality, more athletic.
That's a great idea.
Yeah. So those are things I think that, you just gotta see different faces. You gotta see different things. So honestly, we're not making all these huge adjustments. I don't think that this is the time of year where you do that. You adjust who you're playing, but you stay locked into what has got you here. And that's cleaning up some things on the defensive end, boxing out, but being more intentional because, I mean, at this point, everybody's going to have film on us. Everybody's good. And just, like I told them, want it. You don't get this opportunity. We're one of 4 teams that are left in the state. So, one thing I've also told them, Paul, I try to really, my word for the year is enjoy. I pick a word every year. I've done it since 2016. So my word this year is enjoy instead of a New Year's resolution. And so I told the girls, you've got to enjoy this moment because this team will never, ever assemble again. And this isn't the first time I said it. I've been saying it all year long. Like this group will never be together again. So if this group is never going to be together again, give it for each other. And you guys know this as well. I mean, it's been 25 years now since the Lady Cats have gotten back to the Final Four. God willing, hopefully it's not another 25, but winning is not easy. It's not easy. And you've got to embrace these moments. And I think sometimes, and this is my first time as a coach, I think sometimes people get so caught up in, we're here, we got to do this, this, and this.
Right.
You got to breathe for a little bit too, man. You got to take it in. You got to enjoy it because it may not come again. So while we're practicing and we're staying focused, I do want us to enjoy the moment. I do want us to understand that, this is a special opportunity for each young lady and their families, in our community, in our school, just everyone who's supporting us. So long story short, like to answer your question, we're getting better at what we know we need to improve on.
Coach, I want to touch on 2 things you talked about. Number 1, visualization. I started using it as a player. It was my engine, to advance. Talk about visualization, because I think I talked about it a few weeks ago on my Wednesday night show, how to do it. Jim Thorpe, the great Jim Thorpe, used it 120 years ago. A lot of pro players use visualization, and I think coaches should teach it to their players because it doesn't cost a dime and it really works. Before I used to tell my players before bed, think about making the perfect play every time, what they're going to do, because if you think about it enough, you dream about it because they're all thinking about it. And then when you get in the game situation, it's like deja vu. It's already happened. So talk a little bit about, do you talk to them how to use visualization, your players?
I don't want to give all my secrets out to you. But if you ever get some of our girls on the show, I'll let them tell you we take visualization to another level.
Oh, good for you.
We take it to another level, and I think everything you said is right. I think that it's when you speak of visualization, it's very cognitive. It's very mental because what you're telling someone to do is to basically predict the future. That's what you're telling them to do when you visualize. And we know how hard that is. And we try not to predict the future as human beings because we know it would drive us crazy. But in a sports mindset, you have to do that. You have to practice. You have to practice being down 5. You have to practice being down 10. You have to practice being up 1. You have to do all these things. You have to practice those scenarios of hitting the game-winning shot, celebrating. So I won't lie to you. We take it to a whole nother level here. We take it to a whole nother level.
Coach. Good for you. All right. In the second, go ahead. You got anything else, Coach?
Well, I was going to say, because it's hard to teach something that you haven't been through. So we haven't won a state championship, but we can dream it and we can visualize it and we can discuss it because it's what we want.
Exactly. Second thing, enjoy and have fun. I got a letter from one of my former players years ago after I retired, and he said in that letter was, Coach, before big games, and we played some big games, before big games, you always told us, guys, let's just have fun. I mean, this is what we're out here for. It's just forget about everything else and just go have a ton of fun because that's what we're in this game for. He said it took the pressure off him, and he was an overachiever, this kid that I'm talking about. So, so maybe right before the big game, it's a good thing to say. Coach, are you still riding your bike? You got time?
I am. I'm still riding. I love it. I enjoy it, and it's one of those things. I just love riding. I love riding.
Coach, you get 40 miles in a day. I get 40 miles in a week. I couldn't keep up with you on those long runs.
All right, you can come with me. I'll slow down for you.
Oh my gosh. All right. Who made the biggest difference in your life, Coach?
My mom. I mean, I want to just say my parents. I'm a big family person, and just to see, my mom has always instilled. I know everybody probably knows my mom by now, but who you see is who she's always been. She has always instilled in myself and my brother, that she's the old school mom. So she really did speak positivity over us and telling us, like, you can do whatever you put your mind to. But she also would tell us, like, you have to work for it. So everything that I have is, who I am because of my parents, my mom, my dad. But my mom, she just instilled it to us when we were younger. You can play, you can do this, you can do that. She never made me feel like, even when I felt like I couldn't do it, she was always right there to say that you could. And I think that's what me and my brother are probably most appreciative for. And still to this day, she's as literally my number one fan. So, I mean, my mom, most influential person by far.
Every ball player, maybe some coaches, most coaches, they have superstitions before games or anything. Do you have any superstitions you have to do?
No, not really. Not really. I'll say this: there are things that I do to probably kind of keep myself a little connected to myself. Maybe a little fasting or something. I try to stay in my word. But honestly, not. When you got faith, you don't need superstitions.
Coach, who would be Who would be a great guest to have on the show? Can you think of somebody who would be a good guest?
Great guest to have on the show. One of the girls. You gotta have Shamaya or Jada. You gotta. You know what? Yeah. Paul, let me tell you something. If we could do something special, we gotta get the girls on here for you to talk with them or have you come out.
Awesome. Awesome. Love to, Coach. Love to.
Yeah.
Hey, congratulations. Good luck, man. Next week, Coach. We're all pulling for you here in Pensacola really hard.
Yes.
Go Cats.
Yeah, go Cats. Go Cats.
Yes, thank you, guys.
Coach. Bye-bye.
Right. Thank you.
Wow. She is a joy to have on every
time
we have on her. I don't know how many times we've had her on.
Man, it's a pleasure to have her on, man. She keeps that tradition going on. When I got to Booker T. Washington in 75, we were really good. And like I said, it became a state-sanctioned sport in 1976. And we've won as many basketball games as.
How many titles has Ronnie Bond?
He probably has three or four titles, but that team that was that lost 25 years ago, they lost to Terravella, which was when I was down in South Florida. That was my district, and Terravella, I think, walked out there probably 3'6" girls. They they were really tall and athletic. Well,
everybody's pulling for her. I know Coach Allison Davis is, all the coaches here. 2 more wins and they're state champs. But like she said, it's not easy. So
not easy at all.
I'm pulling for them. Thanks for watching Local Sports Report. I want to say this is brought to you by Sandy Sansing Chevrolet, all the great folks over at Sandy Sansing. Go over and see them in Milton, Pensacola, and Baldwin County and Foley. Thanks for watching the show.
Yes,
on behalf of Hobbs, I'm Coach Tripp. Have a great sports week, and stay tuned for these messages. So long, everybody.
Peace.
When it comes to buying your next car, truck, or SUV, you need a team that puts you first. Here at the Sandy Sansing dealerships, we're proud to serve Pensacola and the Gulf Coast with the best selection, trusted service, and deals that work for your family. Just like great coaches build great teams, Sandy Sansing builds lasting relationships with every customer who walks through our doors. Because when it comes to finding your next vehicle, there's only one name to remember. Sandy Sansing can.